Hi, Stanley High School. Welcome to our SOAR Time meetings for today. I thank you for participating in our Red Ribbon Week this week. I'm recording this the week before, so I'm hoping that we had a good day yesterday with Jeff Yeldon. I hope that his message reached those of you who really truly needed his message today. Red Ribbon Week holds a very special place in my heart. It has been something that I've been passionate about for a very long time, and a lot of you know my story, and you know why this is one area in my life that I am passionate about it. So those of you who have heard it, sit back and listen again. Maybe I'll tell it in a different way. And those of you who don't know, this is my story. On October 15th, 1995, my senior year, my cousin, Luke Nordloff from Powers Lake, so those of you who know Aiden and Isaac Nordloff, this would have been their uncle. My cousin, one of my best friends, was the funniest guy I knew. He could make me laugh. I know it's not hard to make me laugh, but like he could have me doubled over in seconds laughing. He lit up a room. His passion was basketball. He enjoyed football and track, but his true passion was basketball. And when I went to Powers Lake to go drive around with him, I always knew that I'd find him in his driveway shooting around. But on October 15th, it's been 24 years since Luke died. This is, can you see it? This is Luke. That's my cousin. 24 years ago. So that smile and that mischievous look in his eyes, that just shows you what kind of a person he was. He drew people to him. They wanted to hang around him. Luke went to Tioga one night to visit his girlfriend, and they ended up going to a party. Luke drove home that night when he shouldn't have been driving. And about a mile from town, he crashed his car. I don't know if any of you know where Smishik Lake is, but it was kind of close to the turn to where you'd get to Smishik. And his car started on fire, and Luke was killed. We don't know if he died on impact. We don't know if he died from the fire. But that night when I got that phone call, I'll never ever forget what it feels like to get that phone call. I'll never forget what it sounds like to hear parents crying because their son is dead. I'll never forget what it was like for all of Luke's friends, his girlfriend, his siblings, and I to sit at houses and share memories of Luke. I'll never forget that. So we moved on, right? Missing him. And it was 2 years later that my other cousin named Lisa, I don't have a picture of her with me right now. Luke's has been posted on Facebook because, like I said, it's been 24 years since he died. But Lisa, my cousin, she was 21 at a party, drove home, died a half a mile from the spot that Luke died at, from drinking and driving. That call came at like 2 a.m, and I remember I had been fighting with my boyfriend that night, which happened to be Clay, and I thought it was him calling in the middle of the night, and so I answered the phone before my mom and dad could because we didn't have cell phones back then, and it was my uncle, and I'll never forget the words that he said. "Sarah, you need to go wake up your mom. Lisa's dead." How can it happen again? How can two of my cousins, my best friends, be dead? Again, I'll never forget the sound of my mom crying when I told her. I'll never forget the sound of her mom arriving into the place where she died. I'll never forget feeling that I would never hear her laugh again. I would never get a phone call from her. I would never get one of her 6 to 10 page front and back letters that she used to mail every week. I'd never get that again. And I sunk into probably depression. It was hard. I was angry. I was hurt. And you'd think that losing 2 of my best friends to drinking and driving would turn me so far against alcohol. But in that moment, it didn't. I was pissed. And that's exactly what I reached out for. And it probably looked like I was having the greatest time of my life. I went back to college and probably I was drinking more than I was not drinking. I was sometimes going to class, sometimes not going to class. It wasn't a priority. And I'd go out at night and I would drink. And I'd wake up the next morning feeling like crap. I'd wake up the next morning with regrets of things that I had done that were absolutely against my morals and my values as a person, regrets of things that I had said to my friends. So many days where I'd wake up and I'd have to go and apologize to the people who were trying to stand by me, to the people who were trying to love me and support me, and I'd hurt them the night before, or they'd had to take care of me. I was annoying. That went on for about a semester. And then Christmas, I had to go home and I had to tell my mom. I failed some classes. I've been drinking a lot. My mom was strict. And so I was scared to tell her. I was scared to disappoint her. Her and my dad didn't go to college, and so I was the first one out of our family to go to college, and I knew that she wanted that dream for me. I knew that she wanted me to graduate from college because she hadn't been given that opportunity, and I was scared to let her down. And I remember her putting her arm around me and saying, "Sarah, it's okay. We're gonna get through this." She didn't yell at me. She just loved me. And that made a difference in my life. And that was a turnaround. And I knew in that moment that one of my jobs, one of my passions, was to spread a message to other people so that they didn't have to walk through what I walked through because of decisions that people make. I can't change the past, but what if? What if Luke would have stayed in Tioga that night with a friend? What if Lisa had a DD that night? What if? What if you change some of the things that you're doing so that you can live the rest of your life, so that people don't have to spend their lives missing you and wondering what you would be like 24 years later? What if you decide to say no? You decide to change the decisions that you're making, or you stick to your guns about not drinking or not using drugs, and you don't have to be a Facebook post 24 years later. Sisters, brothers, friends posting, "I miss you. I wonder what you would have been like." You won't have to be a school counselor sharing the message of two people that you loved who died. I don't know why them. Why not me? I don't know. It's not for me to know. But I know this. You have a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice to be safe. You have a choice to have a DD. You have a choice to say no. Has anyone told you that? So often, Hannah heard the words, "So are you going to drink after you graduate?" And my conversation with her one night was this: Hannah, you do know that one option is not to drink, right? You know you don't have to drink. It's not about when. You don't have to. Saying no and making that a lifestyle choice is okay. And I want you all to know that too. I know this. Using drugs and alcohol to make you feel better won't last. In fact, it adds. It adds to the people that you're hurting. It adds to the choices that you're making. Who are you? As we end, because I know, gosh, I kind of can start to go on and on, so I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for listening to obviously a very painful moment in my life. So I appreciate you guys listening and being respectful. I'm going to share a couple facts with you before I sign off and you guys go into your discussion questions. A child who reaches the age of 21 without smoking, vaping, drinking alcohol, and using illegal drugs or abusing prescription drugs is virtually certain to never do so in their life. Not everybody is doing drugs. Did you know that more than 7 out of 10 high school students do not drink alcohol? You can protect yourself. You can make it easier on yourself to say no. Here are 4 ways. Number 1, today find something that you can do in your extra time that keeps you away from alcohol and drugs. Number 2, choose friends who support your positive activities in your life. Number 3, have a conversation with your parents about drugs and alcohol. It might be uncomfortable, but you all might grow. And number 4, choose TV, movies, video games, rap songs that promote positive and healthy activities. The last fact for today is this: what is your reason to stay drug-free? Is there something or someone in your life that is a reason for being drug-free? Some students play sports. Some are involved in band. Some are in FFA, FBLA, FCCLA, DECA, speech, drama. What is your why? Others are involved in their church group. Maybe it's Boy Scouts. Maybe it's 4-H. Get involved. Talk with your families about the choice to be drug and alcohol free and find people that will help you stay drug and alcohol free. If you feel like you have a problem, if you can't stop, reach out for help. Talk to me, talk to your parents. Reach out for help. You become like the 5 people you hang out with most. If these 5 people are choosing to drink and use drugs and vape and smoke and chew whatever, what are your chances that you're going to follow? Choose your friends wisely. Lift one another up. I love you all, and I just want you to be safe. Go ahead and move into your discussion questions.